Welcome, Junior Counsel, to today's Explainer, where we are going to treat the Cambridge AS and A-Level Arabic Passage 2 Comprehension as the ultimate boardroom trial. I am your presiding judge today, and we are looking at exactly how you can build an airtight, bulletproof case to secure maximum marks. Consider this your briefing for a very difficult 15-mark Cambridge question. This is the case, and we're going to win it. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this case by asking the central question that absolutely stumps so many candidates when evaluating text evidence. Why is it so hard? Well, I see this all the time with my two fictional junior attorneys. Let's call them Counsel Alex and Counsel Sam. Alex is incredible at gathering deep evidence files, quoting the text left and right, but completely lacks a closing argument. Sam, on the other hand, is a highly persuasive speaker, writes beautifully, but lacks the physical case study backing to actually prove the point. Most students write like either Alex or Sam, and unfortunately, neither approach wins the case.
The stakes here are incredibly high. Look at this quote directly from the principal examiner report. It explicitly indicts this section, calling it literally one of the most misunderstood areas in Arabic. That is a massive red flag from the examiners. But honestly, for us, it's a huge opportunity. If we can master what everybody else is misunderstanding, your paper is going to immediately stand out to the Cambridge jury. So, here is our trial docket for today's session. We're going to cover the charge sheet, move into cross-examining the text, building the legal case, spotting exam hearsay, and finally, the final verdict. Let's open proceedings with Section 1, the charge sheet, focusing on the case of Arabic 9680. Before we argue anything, we need to know what the law actually demands of us.
Now, what's absolutely crucial about this assessment framework is its core principle. It prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. The Cambridge jury doesn't just want you to list a dozen random facts. They demand logical, structured reasoning. Think back to our junior attorneys. Alex tries to throw every single piece of evidence to the wall to see what sticks. That's superficial breadth. The exam board wants you to take just a few key pieces of evidence and dig incredibly deep into them.
Moving into discovery, let's cross-examine the text in Section 2 and look at the procedural framework you must follow. We call this the method mark strategy.
The crucial point here is understanding that examiners award method marks for your systematic analysis and reasoning process, not merely your final conclusion. This is exactly where Alex and Sam usually end up debating in my office. They argue over how to frame their opening statement. Alex wants to just copy-paste quotes. Sam wants to write an opinion piece. But you have to actively cross-examine the command words in the question, ensuring your paragraph layout directly addresses the specific assessment objectives. You have to show the jury exactly how you arrived at your conclusion, step by step.
This brilliantly illustrates your legal checklist. You must strictly apply these procedural requirements on the left, proper headings, correct terminology, to successfully execute the data skills on the right. If you don't use the correct terminology to interpret those relationships, the jury dismisses your evidence before they even finish reading the paragraph.
Let's move to our third section, building the legal case. But real quick, judge's orders. Before we start presenting our closing arguments, I need you to ensure your legal counsel fee is secured. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at AC Exams right now and enable all notifications so you never miss our weekly masterclasses. Okay, back to the case. Let's see how to deconstruct, solve, and evaluate. To master this, you must execute this 5-step framework. Identify the information, break it into steps, solve it, check for reasonableness, and make justified recommendations. Now, right about here is where students, much like Alex and Sam, often hit a logical contradiction mid-paragraph. Their evidence stops making sense. So to link your evidence to your thesis seamlessly, I inject the Peel structural framework into these steps. Point, evidence, explain, link. You make your point, drop your text evidence, explain why it's reasonable, and link it back to your justified recommendation. It is foolproof.
All right, it's time for interactive jury duty. Look at this exhibit. I want you to imagine a 60-second timer on the clock right now. Challenge 1. Find the winning argument point. On the left, we have descriptive fluff, simply stating a fact. That is inadmissible hearsay. It proves nothing. The winning argument is on the right. That is solid evidence demonstrating analytical depth because it identifies similarities and differences and evaluates their relative importance.
Counsel, to build that analytical depth in your own writing, your comparative analysis must explicitly follow these rules. You have to identify similarities and differences. You absolutely must use comparative connectives to weave your argument together. Support everything with evidence, and finally, draw conclusions on relative importance. Tell the examiner which piece of evidence is the smoking gun and why.
In Section 4, we are spotting exam hearsay. We're going to review the principal examiner reports to expose the fatal errors that will immediately lose the jury's trust.
For Challenge 2 of your jury duty, let's play Spot the Hearsay. Listen to this examiner alert. Candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. If your sample answer has sentences where you throw out complex terms without defining them first, that is purely descriptive fluff. It's hearsay. You're confusing the judge, and you're going to lose your method marks.
These are the top 3 fatal errors, the ultimate exam hearsay, to avoid. Forgetting proper format, forgetting to double-check that presentation, and worst of all, giving answers that aren't specific to the given context. Notice how completely ignoring the specific case study context ruins an otherwise amazing argument. Sam does this all the time. Great words, totally irrelevant to the text provided. Don't be like Sam.
As we enter closing arguments, let's deliver our final verdict on mastering Passage 2.
Let me read you the optimized full-mark conceptual standard. Top-performing students exhibit connected, conceptual understanding transferable to unfamiliar contexts. Based on this, here are my 3 rules of evidence linkage for your final paragraph. Rule 1. Show connected understanding by linking facts together, not isolating them. Rule 2. Use conceptual framing rather than just copying text. And Rule 3. Ensure your logic is transferable, proving you could apply this reasoning to totally unfamiliar contexts. It's about learning the legal system, not just memorizing one past paper.
So, review those method marks, banish the hearsay from your writing, and ask yourself, are you ready to present a flawless, winning case in your next past paper? To make sure you are fully prepared for trial, remember to subscribe to Ace the Exams at AC Exams. Click that bell and comment below with your target level and subject. Court is adjourned. I'll see you in the next masterclass.